Hi, welcome to the World Society, a channel all about books, hosted by two bookish friends. I'm Sumaya. Today's video is gonna be fun, easy, hopefully chill. I'm gonna film the last 10 books tag. This tag is all about the last book in a specific category, and it was created by the channel Mark Nash. The original video will obviously be linked down below, but we should just get started. And it's pretty easy. It's A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. If you watched my trying to read all of my unread books video, this is one of my unread books that has been sitting on my shelf for I don't even know how many years now. This most recent go around was a buddy read thing with my friend Anna, and she's continuing on a little life journey. I have decided to stop the journey, maybe give it away to somebody else who will enjoy it. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what it is about this book that I didn't like. I don't know what it is. I just couldn't get past the first 100 pages, and I've tried 3 times now. I gave it a good shot. Just isn't for me. And the last book I reread was The Princess Diaries by Carrie Fisher. This is actually a really cute reading vlog that I made that should be up by now, so you can go and watch that to see all of my detailed thoughts about this book. But it's one of my favorite memoirs, and it's far sadder than I remember it being, but I was pretty sad at the time, so it was just what I needed. Plus it gave me a reason to rewatch A New Hope, so I can't complain. And this is actually really difficult. I had to go through my Instagram stories to figure it out, because I haven't bought any books this year, because to reference again my trying to read all of my unread books video, I said in that video that I wouldn't buy any more books until I read all of my unread books, and so far I have stuck to my promise. I haven't bought any books, but back in November of 2020, I bought Educated by Tara Westover. I buddy read this book with Sunny, the other host of this channel, years ago, and I then bought this book to reread it, and I just remember how much I loved it. This book, I think the back of it summarizes pretty good. Tara Westover and her family grew up preparing for the end of days, but I have dyslexia, so really think it's really difficult, but give me a chance. According to the government, she doesn't exist. She hasn't been registered for a birth certificate. She has no school records because she has never set foot in a classroom, and no medical records because her father didn't believe in hospitals. That's the only thing you need to know about Educated. It's really sad, but Westover's writing and the way that she first of all just writes about education really stuck with me. I've read this book twice now, and each time I take something away from the memoir. First time I was really focused on the abuse that Westover writes about, but the second go around I was really fascinated about the way that Tara just writes about education. It's one of my favorite memoirs. It's so good. The question says a book. I'll give you a whole ass author. Once upon a time, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I was on a date, and I said to this person, yeah, I read all of Arthur Conan Doyle's work because we bonded over Sherlock. I thought he was talking about the show Sherlock, and I was like, yeah, I love Sherlock, but he was just talking about the books, and then started talking really badly about the show, and I was like, oh yeah, the show is really bad, but the books, yeah, they're really good. I read all of them. I haven't read a single Conan author. I haven't read any of Doyle's work, but you know, It was meant to be, let's just say that way. Okay, this is also really difficult because I haven't really read any physical books other than the library books that I borrowed, and obviously I don't write in the books that are owned by the library. Don't write in books that don't belong to you. Show some respect. Oh my god. I went through my story graph, and the last book I wrote in the margins of was Rage Becomes Her by Sumaya Shamali, my favorite book of all time. We read Rage Becomes Her for our book club back in February, and if you want to join our book club, just go and check out our Instagram. And I think the back of the book says it really well. In Rage Becomes Her, Soraya Shamali argues that our anger is not only justified, it's necessary, and then goes on. But it's all about how all of us humans feel the emotion anger, but for some reason women are socialized to not verbalize anger and just use a different word for it. For example, instead of saying I'm really frustrated, I'm really angry, a lot of us use the word I'm sad, I'm tired. But and I'm giving a really bad synopsis. That's kind of my thing when it comes to books that I love. I love this book, and I love Soraya Shamali for helping me put words to things that I've been experiencing my entire life. So yeah, I wrote in the margins of this book. I don't get signed books because I guess I'm not that special. But I can give you my most prized book that I have signed. It's Svart Kvinna by Fanna Endau Norby. This book actually started as an Instagram where black women in Sweden would write in to Fanna and share their experiences of racism in Sweden. I got this book when I was 16, and I actually met Fanna at a talk that she gave about racism in Sweden, and she literally just blew me away. Another woman that changed my life because she just gave me vocabulary to explain what I was experiencing every day here in Sweden, and I love her for it. I can give you two books. I lost Goblet of Fire by Daniel Radcliffe, and I lost The Sun is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon to a friend because, oh, that was scary, because I'm not friends with that person anymore, and they borrowed those two books from me and never returned them. And we haven't been friends for several years now, so I can't really ask for my Goblet of Fire book or The Sun is Also a Star. I love those two books. I have to replace them, I suppose. Which ties into the 8th question. And I haven't replaced Goblet of Fire or The Sun is Also a Star. But I did a big unhaul recently. By recently, I mean like last year. And I got rid of a lot of my duplicates. And that meant getting rid of a lot of my Harry Potter books. Because I don't know, I just realized I don't need 6 editions of Prisoner of Azkaban. I only need 1. So I replaced a lot of them by my favorites. So now I only own Half-Blood Prince and Prisoner of Azkaban. I don't really own anything else. Oh, other than my Hufflepuff edition of Philosopher's Stone. I own those 3 books. But you know, it's okay. And I don't argue about books. I might disagree with someone about a book, but I wouldn't argue. However, back in 2016, when I first started reading poetry, I first got into poetry by reading Rupi Kaur's books, specifically Milk and Honey. And there was just a specific, I'm not gonna name names, but a bookstagrammer who was making fun of people who enjoy Rupi Kaur's work. And that really got to me. And it took me a while to actually rationalize why I got so upset over the rhetoric used in that post. A lot of us discovered poetry through reading Rupi Kaur's work, and especially for me, someone whose English is her third language, it's really accessible to me and easy to comprehend, because the poetry that we read in school, even the Swedish poetry that we read, was really hard for me to sometimes like understand. But when it comes to Rupi, I feel like her work is really digestible, and it's easier for me to analyze it, and also memorize it. My favorite poem that she has ever written is In Milk and Honey, and I might butcher it, but it's something like, loneliness is a sign that you're in desperate need of yourself, and stuff like that really like put words into what I was feeling when I was 16. And I might be just speaking shit right now, but I believe that Rupi's audience is a lot young women, and it's easy to hate on everything that young women like. So seeing another young woman just first of all ripping Rupi to shreds, and also making fun of women who, because it was specifically women that she was making fun of who like Rupi's work, seemed like such a low blow. Make fun, don't make fun. Criticize the work, but not the author and the people who actually enjoy it. And it made me quite upset. I can give you two, because my library doesn't have a lot of the poetry or the feminist anti-racist books that I want to read. They got me down on the YA section and the young adult section, but the books that are gonna get me mad about the state of the world, no, they don't have that, and I can't buy any because, book ban. One of my favorite booktube channels is the channel Sunny Book Nook, and Sunny recommended a book called The Colonizer and Colonized. I can't remember the author's names, but I really want to get to that book one day. I might have to go to my library and be like, homies, please help me out, buy this book. And there's another channel called Books by Lanes, and she recommended a book called Teaching My Mother How to Give Birth. Teaching My Mother How to Give Birth by Wasada Shahi. And Wasada is a fellow East African, and she's a poet and a writer. And after I got the recommendation, I searched the name on YouTube and I found some of her work, and I just got blown away. I just seeing another woman be and do everything that I want to do just got me really inspired. First of all, to get back to writing my own work, because I used to write creatively, but then I just stopped because, depression. But I feel like reading that poetry collection will make me, first of all, support a poet that I really resonate with, but also inspire me to start getting back to my own work one day. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. We post every Saturday, and I'll see you soon. Bye.